Welcome, Clément, to Metallarium Pages. It's a great pleasure to talk with you about the Creeping Fear, this new album, The Realm of the Impaled, and more things related to the metal world in general. So, in this situation, let's start with asking how are you doing today? How is the band during the last 3 years? Because your previous album was released, Hate God's Triumphed, was released in 2021.
Yeah, sure. So first, thank you so much. We are super happy to have the opportunity to do this interview at Metallarium, and the band has been doing great. We were working hard on this new studio album. As you know, it's a long process, but it turned out great, and we are super happy with the release at the moment.
Mhm.
And it has been in the underground scene, at least, very well received. So we are super happy.
Amazing, amazing. So, and when do you decide to start writing songs for this new album? Because I saw that the band has a busy schedule to release albums 2027, 2017, sorry, 2021, and now 2025. Even we can assure that each for 3 years and 4 years you are releasing a new album.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right after the last one in 2021, there were a lineup change, as you know, and we took some time to find new members. Then almost 3 years ago, we started
Mhm.
writing new song with Gabriel, and we had Matthias on bass guitar that had some songs and that joined the band. And 3 years later, here we are. It's recorded. It's in the box.
Oh, okay, amazing, amazing. So, and this one, so you said it about the one topic. So, how it was the reception from this new album until now? The album is one will be just 1 week older in the next couple days. So, and how it was reception until now? The listeners, the comments, the fans, and everything. And how do you take a bad review about the album, for example?
Yeah, so far it has been great. I did not see some bad reviews at the moment. Might happen in the future, but it's fine. It's always good to have any feedback, to be honest.
Mhm.
And um, about like the views, the reception on the social media, it has been great so far. As you may know, it's harder and harder to have visibility on social media. So I'm always happy that people are clicking on the music videos on Spotify and YouTube, etc. It has been great so far, and it has only been 1 week, so it's just the beginning. I hope it will continue that way.
Hmm. Okay, amazing. So now, well, I saw that since the beginning the band it was with a label, Dolorem Records. So that's a great thing. So how it was the work with them with Dolorem Records since the beginning, since 2017 to this new album. I think you are with them more now 10 years.
Yeah, it's almost been 10 years because they were there since the first album.
Mhm.
And it has been great. To be honest, this is really what's great in France with the underground scene. Alex, the owner of the label, is great. He's supporting many underground bands, and it's all about the music. You know, at our level, there are very little like business like issues or anything. We just want to release the best music possible, to promote it, and work in the same way all together. And so far, Dolorem has been super supportive. This is the third record with them. So for us, this is a win-win situation. And if like you don't know the other band that he's promoting, check it out. Only like great death metal, and yeah, definitely check it out.
Hmm. Okay, amazing, amazing. Now let's talk about more about this one. When I remember that when I hear the first album Onward to Apocalypse, at that moment, yes, you are Clement with Gabriel and with label. So now, but when I saw that the lineup in this new album, I saw that just you, Gabriel, and you are with the recording process. So but then when I see the full lineup, there is two members more. So
Yeah.
in this situation, eh, the band is just two members, or is just the full lineup with the four members?
At the moment, this is a very good question because many bands, only one person is writing the songs or two.
Mm.
But with this new lineup, everyone participated. Matthias wrote some riff on bass guitar and turned out great into great songs. And Hector is writing all the drum parts, and no one is like writing the song alone at home. We
Okay.
are rehearsing all together, sharing ideas, and this is how this last album has been created. So yeah, it's really a work together with all the band members.
Oh, okay, okay, I understand. So now talking about more about a little more about the promotion of this new album. So what kind of plan do you have, or what kind of plans do you have for this album? Perhaps you will release with videos, more videos, or perhaps you will embark in tours, or perhaps you're already working on a new album because the schedule for Creeping Fear is a busy one. Just each 3 or 4 albums, 3 years we have a new album.
Yeah, so we have like a few concerts that are planned. We are trying to book more, of course, and we have a few like new songs that we are working on. At the moment, we really want to focus on the live shows. This is super important to promote it, so we focus on that. But yeah, we have new riffs, new ideas, and there will definitely be a fourth album. That's for sure.
Hmm. Oh, amazing! So then the 4 albums are coming. Amazing. So now talking about more about the concept about the creeping fear, especially the death metal, because you are coming from France, a country that in the 80s or 90s that doesn't have many bands with heavy metal or death metal. Now, since the explosion of Gojira, Gojira like bring a new wave of bands, black metal, death metal, thrash metal. I know a lot of bands. So focus again. So now, as you are before in the underground scene from France, and now you have a band. Are you are belongs now to the releases, the new bands at this one? How do you see now the scene in France? Is especially also you have one of the biggest festivals there that is at Hellfest. I was there in 2019, so great festival
Oh,
by
great.
then. And for this, so how do you compare the old scene that you when there's no enough bands with that metal, black metal, etc. And now you have we have much more releases per year.
Yes, that's true. And I agree with you. Now there are many labels, for example, Les Acteurs de l'Ombre, that are releasing many great French black metal bands,
Mhm.
Dolorem Record also for death metal. The thing is bigger than before, but
Mhm.
I think it's after COVID, the thing has changed a lot. Even in Paris, there are less and less live shows and less bands that are active, unfortunately. So I hope in the future people keep playing music, keep releasing great album and playing live shows too, because this is what we all enjoy, of course. So yeah, it's very different, you know. Of course, from the very old school scene in the 80s and the 90s, but I think it has even changed in the past 5 years. The scene is completely different now. So, but yeah, I hope more band will release new stuff in the future, play gigs, and be active, because this is what we like in the end. This is what I love playing metal. I love going to live shows and enjoying other bands, etc.
Okay, okay, I understand that, but that is true. Well, if we are talking about the few bands that played death metal in the 90s, because it was just a few of them, I just can remember like 5 or 6 bands that played death metal on the 90s in France. So for you, what it was the band that for you has a special sound in the 90s, especially talking about for the band for the death metal bands from the 90s for you?
In general, many ones, because even in the US, when you see bands creating new sound like Cannibal Corpse, like Suffocation, they really created something at the time, and every band had their own sound. And even in France, when you see bands like Merciless, uh, they created something back in time, and they had their own sound. So yeah, those kind of bands that was unique in their genre, even if it was You know, all those bands were death metal, but they were super unique.
Okay, okay. And well, and another topic around this one is when we're talking about, especially because I spoke with I spoke with the old bands, especially the death metal, with
Mm,
Cancer, with
yeah.
Benediction, etc., etc. More bands I spoke with them, and I always ask them if there's any content that will rise in the future with a personal sound, especially in the death metal, because as you can see, as you know, there is just a few scenes with the sound, especially we are talking about the scene Swedish, Finland, Brazil, the American stuff, the United Kingdom. That is like they have the own sound with a lot of bands, but they have that countries has personal sounds. Do you think now the sounds evolve, the music evolve, and more things? Do you think that in the future France will be bring something and special, especially into the death metal, a special sound with the death metal?
Yeah, and I think it's already the case when you listen to our last album. There are really it's darker than, for example, bands in the US. We can
Mhm.
clearly see the influence of black metal in France and in Europe in general, especially on death metal. When you listen to like new bands, for example, 200 Stab Wounds in the US or bands like Creeping Death, they have really their own sound. And I think uh, the death metal thing is still creating new things. It can be influenced by hardcore, more like by black metal. There are always like new stuff, and you listen to it, you listen just like 10 seconds, you listen to the guitar, and you're like, whoa, that's great. I never heard that. It's not always the case, but I think people are still being creative, from a sound perspective.
Well, okay, okay, okay. And now, well, the band has a great record with this new one. Congratulations on this one. But
Thank you.
as you can see, when this topic, you said it, there is Creeping Fear has something special in the music. But if we compare this special thing with well, 50 or 60 releases per weekend, so there is a lot of releases now. So for you,
True.
apart of this, apart the thing that you said it that this one has a special thing, so for you, what kind of special thing Creeping Fear has compared with this? Well, I don't know, with 50 or 60 releases per weekend. We are talking about just from the death metal.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think where we sound a bit different, and you can hear it in the production, in the way the guitar are tuned, that we are really influenced by black metal. You can hear it in the sound of the voice too in the recording, and that's something that differentiate us from the other band. Lastly, I hear a lot of records that are influenced by the hardcore scene or even the deathcore scene, and this is not us, definitely. That doesn't mean that we don't like that we don't listen to it, but this is not what we want to put in our record. And we want to be darker, more influenced by black metal than any hardcore stuff, definitely, even if we like that.
Okay, okay, okay. So now with this kind of with this new concept that you see, there is 1,000 release, or well, 50 or 60 releases per weekend. Now there is another topic with this, that these 50 or 60 releases per weekend sounds amazing. Great musicians, great albums, great cover arts. No bad record now. That's impossible to find a bad record. If we see the option just the production of the cover art or the sound of the studio, it's very different the sensations because that sensation is from each people. If some people like it, so doesn't another people that doesn't like it. So that is how it is processed with this. But in this situation, there is like a new movement. I saw a lot of bands. I speak with a new bands that they try to release records without the metronome. Try to release records was just with one take, rehearsal takes, not like each
Mm.
first the guitar, then the drums, etc., etc., or vice
Yeah.
versa. So there is no option for this one. And for this, what kind of opinion do you have for this new like these new tendencies to bring back the old ways to record music?
I think this is good and that there is a place for every kind of production, depending on what you want to have, depending on the music you want to play and the final result that you want to have. And we have been influenced by that, but because you can hear it on the album, uh, the drum is very natural. You hear the snare. It's not
Mhm.
compressed like in some very modern metal record.
Mhm.
You have still nuances you can hear it definitely. And I think there is really a place for every kind of production. You just have to decide and to be sure that this is the best way to record your music. And I find it super fun when you have like recording with live drums. Like you have a band on tour and they are recording the drums every night and they just take the best take. And that's great. You know, that this is a great way to record music.
Okay, okay, nice,
And what we
nice.
want to avoid, the only thing they don't like are like bands that don't really play, for example, the instruments. Like I don't
Mhm.
have to have a drum machine that is doing my recording. We with Creeping Fear, we really want everyone to play their part. There is no trick behind that. Everyone is really played. But from in the end, that's the most important thing.
Hmm. Okay. Okay, interesting. So, and we are very close to enter this interview, Clement. Sorry for this. And well, we're talking about now another topic because one thing that captured my attention and since you in your all your albums is this since your second album, Hate God Triumph, you did the cover art with Paolo Girardi, a great artist in this kind of music. And your new album also is with Paolo Girardi. And for this, what do you decide to create two cover arts with Paolo Girardi? And what do you find in the artwork for Paolo Girardi that you cannot find in another artist around the world?
That's a good question, and there will be two parts in my answer because the first one is that we love in the band Paolo's work. You know, I've been following him for years, and it's amazing to have the opportunity to work with him. That's why we did it on the two last album. Uh, the guy is super nice, super talented, and it's an obvious choice for us. And of course, he agreed to work with us. So because there's always that he has so many requests. I
Mhm,
think he's a very busy guy. And the other reason is that we want when you explain the project to an artist, I'm contacting Paulo, I'm explaining, hey, the themes of the album will be that, and that. We have been thinking about that at work. I want a real human being doing it. Too many bands are using AI today,
mhm,
and we're playing our music, and for the artwork, I want someone that take his ideas and paint it for real, and that's super important, and that's why we work with Paolo, uh, and that's why I love working with him because he
mhm,
listened to the ideas, he proposed something, he painted. There when you see the artworks of Paulo, those are real paintings. If you check his Instagram page, he's
mhm.
painting everything, and the final artwork is just a photo of the painting, and I
Mhm.
find it amazing. I think people should do that more and more and stop to like using AI and generating like artworks like that.
Mm. Oh, okay, okay. Well, that's well in this situation. Yeah, you are right. Depends mostly of the band because when I spoke with another bands, the bands talking about the AI, and they told me that they prefer sometimes the AI because they're cheaper because there is not enough budget to release an album, a
Yeah,
cover art.
that that's true, but we have only one album every 4 years.
Mhm.
Like we prefer doing it the right way for us, and it means having a real artwork done by someone that do
Mhm.
it with talent and passion. This is
Mhm.
what we prefer.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, Clement, we arrived to the sad moment of this interview. I hope you enjoyed this interview like me. This new record is a great one. Congratulations on this new one. And perhaps we want to add something to your Latin American fans that we expect someday a Latin tour. Who knows? Because now the globalization came here a lot of new bands that it's possible to do tours here in Latin America, and obviously Metallarium followers.
Uh, thank you all for listening to that interview. It was great to be here with you. Check out Realm of the Impaled. our latest release. Check out the Lorem Records, and I hope one day we can meet and play a show for you guys.